Hi guys, welcome back to the Guild Chat. It is episode 17 and a lot has happened again, as seems to be repeatedly happening. How are you guys all doing?
Thank you. Pretty good.
Usual cast here, everyone's back. We have Davvo again, since he missed out last time. Whoa, so much stuff. We've got a title rollout with some updated stuff, which I was just commenting on, but I can't see it anywhere. We've got the new GL level requirements space boat, and we've just had another lot of Vader requirements drop since this is the second set. Where do you guys want to start?
Let's start with Vader.
Okay, so I don't think we spoke about the first set of requirements very much.
No.
Hold on, I will pull up the new journey guide button. So yeah, his current requirements were a little bit weird. So the current requirements, as everybody has no doubt seen, is Hunter Tech Wrecker and Relic 5, Tusken Raider Relic 5, which everyone kind of knew was going to be a joke requirement anyway. Padme Relic 8, we all saw that coming a mile away, and then they said that Gas Relic 8 was on the list. But they've not actually listed him in the journey guide yet. So
we're part of Wave 3.
Yes, so we already know what one of the next lot of characters is. The characters that they've just announced is Embo Relic 5, Original Clone Trooper Echo Relic 7, Bad Batch Echo Relic 5, and then Dooku Relic 8 and Zam Relic 7. But why Relic 7 Zam? Why?
Did they even interact in the Clone Wars?
I think, she's in the start of the second film.
She was the one who killed Padme. Or tried to.
She killed fake Padme.
Man, they got a single scene together that's worth a requirement.
Relic 7 requirement as well.
Scene. So it was exciting.
So exciting that no one can remember
seen that movie. Yep.
So these requirements are so weird because it feels like he's getting requirements that have nothing to do with like Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
You know, it's like
Dooku. Several of them have been Clone Wars based,
but like Dooku was in that film for the whole start of it. And that was it.
Dooku makes 100% sense.
Oh no, I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying that like he was in the film, even if he was like basically makes a cameo and just dies.
Remember, the galactic legend itself is based on Revenge of the Sith, but his requirements can go back most of his lifetime.
I think honestly, I feel like they've ran out of characters. Because they made
They'll
all of the characters...
They'll at least draw from the Clone Wars a bunch.
Yeah, but like
we see with Embo.
They made Darth Sidious have to be Relic 7 previously. They made Jedi Knight Anakin have to be Relic 7 previously. And they don't want to double dip, so they can't use those. Because they won't dare repeat the requirements.
Double dipping.
Yeah, but they would have
Jedi training Rey, Palpatine.
Yeah, but they did it once. Chad. They did it once. They're not really... I don't think they're keen to do it again.
They'll do it anyway.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We're already at what? We know there's 3 Relic 8s for Lord Vader so far. That's a lot.
How many were there for Kenobi?
2.
Nice.
At least the Relic 8s for Lord Vader are all really good. I mean, I don't think you need to take Dooku to Relic 8, but he is a really good character. That'll definitely make the those Dark Side TB missions on Phase 4 a lot easier. Whereas I feel like having to do Yoda and GK isn't actually that great.
GK,
Kenobi is.
I disagree.
He's easily the most Relic 8.
So like GK helps the negotiator, right? A lot of people go, that's great.
He is the most important Relic 8.
All right, okay.
For another couple of weeks.
Fine. And that's part of my point, right? So the 2 points here is the Malevolence exists, so if you have the Negotiator and the Malevolence, you shouldn't really need to worry about having Relic 8 Kenobi because you never have to play the mirror. You never have to play it, so not a big deal. Malevolence already trades up quite significantly against the Negotiator. And then, as has just been alluded to, there is another capital ship coming out. So then it's like, well, you've now got even less incentive to continue relicking your Negotiator instead of going for the new ship. So,
have you seen what Doja Fett posted in Discord when asked whether the Negotiator will be able to beat Executor?
I did see that. However,
he says, "Good luck."
Yeah, but okay. So I've got 2 points to counter that as well. The first one is the fact that assuming that he is basically saying what we assume he is saying, which is, you don't have a chance in hell. My first thought would be, is that like 7 stars, or is that just at unlock? And then my other thought was like, it's his job to sell us this ship.
Yeah.
So he can't say, no, it's crap, don't get it.
See, the thing is that Razor Crest at 5-star brought bounty hunters to a level that they could beat Negotiator under any capital ship. So having their own capital ship means, Negotiator is probably going to get destroyed.
I'm all for having more options to beat other fleets. It's already well known that if you absolutely max out a fleet, it can beat any other fleet, even if that fleet is absolutely maxed out as well. That's already known. That's all right, salty. We don't even know.
Have you seen that kit?
I know. We're gonna go through that kit in a minute.
I haven't been through the kit.
I haven't been through it, but we'll go through it. But the point is, if you're the sort of person that wants to put all those resources into a fleet, such as rebels, your rebels will beat Negotiator. It's just a lot because there's so many multi-crew ships, and they're not great characters for the most part. And I feel that's the same with everything in fleet. Is if you put it in the effort to doing all of the crap pilots that aren't actually that useful, your ships can win. There's plenty of whales on YouTube that have shown that is possible. But, the Negotiator is a very easy spend because the characters that are required for it are basically the Padme team and the clone team. So they're all good buys. So, yeah. But back to Lord Vader. So how are you guys feeling about this, considering I know that some of you are interested in this character? Or were interested, might not be interested anymore.
I'm actually looking forward to it. I've been wanting an excuse to do Embo for a while. Echo, I need to do anyway. Dooku, fun character. Only issue is Zam, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's got no ship, and she's a useless bounty hunter. But I might be actually from it.
At Relic 7, she might actually be okay if you were just like, when you're playing Grand Arena and you just chuck her on a defense squad because she chucks out grenades.
I'm also assuming that Relic 7 Zam and Relic 5 Embo might be able to carry me to Chewie.
Yes. It's possible.
Which will be helpful when I eventually go for a CLS team.
Yeah, you might need like a Gear 8 Bosk or something to get a lead. That would be about it.
Bosk.
You know what? My problem with the Lord Vader requirements is the Bad Batch, especially the new requirements that have just come out requiring both echoes. Because I mentioned briefly in Discord chat that Anakin never interacts with Echo once he becomes part of the Bad Batch.
Or any of the Bad Batch.
He interacts with the Bad Batch in the singular Bad Batch episode. Or
kind of like they just passed him on the lift or something.
They do go on a whole mission with him. But to require the entirety of the Bad Batch at Relics just seems a bit naff, really.
I mean, you got to sell characters, and they're cool characters. And they're expensive characters.
I kind of feel they were.
They're a very
anyway.
good team.
They're also cool.
I don't think they needed to push them. They like as Davvo just said, they're already like rock hard.
And I wouldn't have gone for them immediately, but no, I am. So it's worked on some chumps.
I mean, Davvo, you've been getting holds in Grand Arena with them, didn't you?
Yeah, thanks to a clone guildmate Archangel, I geared them all up to a point where they needed stun guns and kyrotechs. And so far, I've done 3 rounds with them at that level and had 3 holds out of them. So
Yeah, good times.
that was a whole lot of use out of very little gear.
Andy, Snake, do you guys want to comment on the Lord Vader requirements?
I wasn't planning on going through them anyway, so I'll let Andy have his say.
Maybe don't.
I'm just kind of indifferent to it. To be honest, it's CG, so
It's one thing.
I mean,
long
they are
list of
capital
things.
games.
like, so I mean, it's
More like capital gains.
just
Yeah.
just make
Gains.
the next set of requirements would be a Relic 9 Watto, and then
Oh my god, bring Watto into the game. We need that.
Come on,
Yeah.
they have to bring Hondo in.
what? Yeah, why not? Just relicate everybody.
Relic
Just
9,
find a
Anakin's
couple
mum.
of just
Whatever
find
her
some
name was.
random people on the roster who
You need
might have,
Sebulba for the pod racing section.
just find a character on the list that might maybe have had a dream of Anakin maybe at some point in one of the Legends comics.
He did walk past Jawas at one point, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, he did. He might have been
So
on the
if they
same.
could require
He might have been on
relic
the same
Jawas.
planet as a Gamorrean guard at some point. So
They
you might
have to introduce
relegate.
Relic R2 for him, don't they?
I thought Rex would have been a given, but I'm not sure
Or
anymore.
C3PO.
Rex is 100% coming.
Or C3PO.
There's no way they
it's-
could do it without.
If we've got 5 more requirements, I'm still saying Malevolence is it, but you guys are saying it's the Empire ship. So that's 1, then we've got Gas. Then we say R2 and Rex. And that leaves us with 1 more.
I mean, those all sound like
I'm not saying Executor is going to be it.
Right.
I'm just hoping it isn't.
Guys, right, let's be realistic here, right? Anything we pick that would be a sensible choice is probably not going to be on the list. I mean, like, they've got Bad Batch and Embo and Zam on here already. They've not
really liked bounty hunters for this wave of Galactic Legends.
Yeah, well, I think what they've done by making the bounty hunters required for him and required for the ship is that they've basically said, do the entire faction. And I was saying to Andy actually just before we started that Greedo and Aura Singh have not been chosen, but all of the other bounty hunters have.
That's true.
Yeah, we've also had
Older Mando hasn't, or Grief, have they?
No, they haven't, but they're newer bounty hunters, aren't they? They've also not been born yet. Well, they might be born. So yeah, other than those two as bounty hunters, we've had artwork updates, which we'll get round to. But there's a few characters so like B1 had its artwork completely redone, the whole character model, portrait. B2's just had its portrait done, and Dooku was done, and Dooku's in this requirement. So then I'm like, well, does that mean they're going to put B1 in? You know what I mean? So I
thought they would as well.
I think a lot of people did.
Anakin has committed a lot of war crimes against B1 battle droids.
Yes, probably. But then I was like, well, why have they updated B2's portrait but not its model? And why have they updated Dooku's model but not his portrait?
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, solid question.
I do think B2 has got shinier in both its model and its portrait.
Oh no, its portrait has definitely got shinier. Looks like they put it under like the fucking buffer. Although to be fair, these portraits are much better than Ray's portrait. Scavenger Ray's portrait.
Now they've proven that they can actually make good portraits.
I'm surprised they didn't go back and fix that.
Scavenger Ray is even more disappointing.
Yeah. The B1 portrait looks really good. I think the only thing I'd say about the B1 portrait is he looks a little yellow in his portrait, but then when you click on it and you look at the model, he's more sand-coloured. But it's fine. Was there any other artwork stuff that got updated?
I don't
Real
think
Dod's
so.
portrait.
Oh, of course you'd noticed that.
Well, Andy noticed it first.
Gas.
Yeah, then they changed. Was it Gas's face they changed?
Yeah, Gas now matches Jedi Knight Anakin's face, doesn't he?
Oh, right, but he's still got the old portrait as well. Just checked.
I think so.
Yep, he's still got the old portrait.
And they've moved the journey guide icon, but they haven't actually updated it internally like they said they were going to.
Yes, I was just sort of talking about this before we jumped on. That they put this thing out going, you can move your journey guide and track your journey characters and journey guide. And by the way, it's live now, but it's not.
Some of it's live.
The bit where we move the button.
To be fair, that is a very good change. I'm very happy with that.
What, having it on the front?
That's
Having it on the home space.
I mean, to me,
homepage.
So they swatched
You have
the
no
ship button for
idea
it.
how many times I click the events tab looking for the journey guide.
It's just so you can
It's
just look
every
at things
time I
and be
want to
like,
get into the journey guide.
if only I geared that character up some more.
Every time I want to get into the journey guide, I click on the events button instead.
And you were just saying though that you're running out of stuff to do in the journey guide.
I am.
What?
I've given you an option and you've said no.
Well,
What was
yeah,
it?
that's because I'm never going to do JTR.
JTR is actually a really fun character to use.
I don't care.
Okay.
It is a point of pride for me that my resistance suck. It went along with my first order superiority.
Oh, they're the nemesis. You could never get them unless there's literally nothing left in the game.
Yep.
It makes sense.
Which unfortunately includes 2 galactic legends that require Ray Jedi training at 7 relic.
Oh right,
7.
so you can't. So you can unlock Black Suit Luke, but you can't get Old Man Luke.
That is correct.
Don't know why you'd want old man Luke anyway.
He is fucking shit. He's so bad. I keep bitching about him, but he is freaking awful. And then in about a month's time, he's literally getting shipped off to the old people's home.
Old man Luke is the personification of this game.
What, just lots of requirements and ultimately disappointing.
Yep.
But the younger version of Luke is still amazeballs, and I thoroughly recommend anybody to get Black Suit Luke. He is great.
Oh yeah, I love the look of Jedi Knight Luke.
But yeah, he's kind of fun to play.
That's a point. Do you have Jedi Knight Luke?
Who?
Davvo.
No. I need to get General Anakin Skywalker before I start considering spending get on Wampa.
Well, once you've got gas, you've got that to go for before your GLs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who
Or I could get Jedi Master Kenobi.
is it? Just Uni that's not got gas?
No, I've not
No, I
got
don't
gas.
have gas.
Oh.
Right, okay.
More people.
I'm working towards gas.
All right, I thought you'd all unlocked him and you were just waiting for Get One.
No.
That's just Andy.
No.
Have you seen my droids? My B2 is like 1 star.
Oh,
4
yeah,
star.
I remember your
gear
droids.
1.
I remember, as in, I saw them and went, oh.
My
But at least my clones are ready for General Skywalker, unlike yours.
Ooh.
my Padme team was pretty much non-existent until lately.
Oh yeah. I
Mine
remember
still is.
watching a Grand Arena with you and wondering why you didn't have Padme.
Yeah, you had used your Padme. I was like, have you seen it, Davvo? It's terrible.
So we just had Scrub jump in. Hey, Scrub.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Scrub.
Yo.
So yeah, we were just chatting about some of the strange requirements for Lord Vader, and And
Oh,
yeah.
we're still talking about those.
Oh, we were. We haven't officially moved on, but we've kind of moved on onto our first tangent of the episode. So we were just discussing that how far away from gas everybody was.
From actually finishing the event or maxing him out at 7?
Well, just
having
unlocking
the
him.
requirements.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm on the upward trek to getting him 7-star. I already have him, but yes, it's quite a challenge.
It's going to be a very strange challenge for at least the first week after they make those special changes they wanted to do, where the gas is going to be absolutely nails, and they go, yeah, people can relic their droids, it doesn't matter.
Right. And then probably...
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to have to do my General Skywalker event in those conditions.
People think they're actually going to reevaluate that after seeing that he's so much harder to beat. That's just funny.
Yeah, they won't.
Like, that's really funny. There's absolutely no way.
They won't. They'll just
That
put
is
the
why I'm rushing
requirements
to
up.
get it done now.
Yeah, it's worth getting done now. I mean, you'll probably end up doing all those droids anyway, but it's much better to get gas before having to do all that.
Yeah, they'll probably end up essentially forcing it to almost Relic 5 roundabouts, just because of the amount of damage output that they do to you, and for you to be able to maintain.
Yeah, probably. So how close is everybody that's still working on it?
I've been trying.
I need Padme higher, and my Magna Guard is, I think, under the power level.
I'm nowhere near. I have the Galactic Republic stuff all done except for C-3PO, and I've got Wicket at 6 stars, so that will be done quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But then my ships are all below 7-star, and my droids are an atrocity to behold.
I've finished ships. As Andy knows, we were sat there for about an hour or so running the Padme side of it many times.
Did you win?
No.
No.
Oh.
How
Gonna
close?
gear 12 Ahsoka.
How close
I
were
got
you?
down to Grievous Red Health once, but
That's quite good, actually. That might be just like a slight tweak in mods and a bit of luck.
that
It's
was
not.
the tweak in mods and luck.
All right, okay. So a couple more gear levels then, maybe.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna gear 12
watched some of
Ahsoka
it
and do
and
6PO.
just saw uni reset and reset and reset.
Wait, it sounds like the Ewok event. The DPO.
Oh
did
yeah,
then
I'll
finish that,
definitely
to
be
fair.
streaming that.
But where's 3PO at? Uni.
Yeah, he's gear 8.
I think, if I recall correctly, I think mine was gear 10, no Zeta. He ended up dying, but
Oh yeah,
I
mine
had, like,
dies.
right,
consistently.
yeah. So I think I had R2 or 3 on Padme. If I recall correctly, I did have R5 on Kenobi. And Shock was, or no, Ahsoka gear 12. And
I'm trying to get us up to gear 12.
Oh, okay, yeah, and I think Shock. What was Shock? She wasn't Relic. I'm guessing she was gear 12 also.
Yeah. At the moment, it's just trying to get Kenobi up to higher relic levels.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll run it again.
Yeah. He has to stand up to a couple of those beatings.
It does help
And
though
then-
if you can have like things like C-3PO stay alive, because you can keep putting the translation buff out onto people like Kenobi, which obviously puts his health up.
Right.
And confuse on the Magnas to stop them taunting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not an easy one to undergear.
What gear level would Mace have to be for his capital to?
Gear 11. You can do him with gear 11. Gear 11 is actually quite cheap on him. You can get to gear 11 and do all his omegas and give him gold mods. and you don't actually have to put much into his capital ship in terms of the abilities to hit the 40k.
I didn't
news
do
is-
the Omegas, but
Yeah, well, you could
can.
put more abilities on his capital ship or whatever you want.
Yes, yeah.
Or use Negotiator.
Yeah. I'm going to have Negotiator 7-star by the time I get Gas's
I
requirements.
mean, I don't think Mace is awful as a choice now because obviously he's required for Kenobi. But previously, you would have been like an absolute minimum.
The thing is, if I wait for Negotiator, it's going to be even harder.
If you think the rest of your stuff is up to the point where you can take the event, I would just go with Mace. The fleet mission isn't that hard if you've got reasonable ships.
How easy is he to gear?
What, Mace?
Mine's like currently gear 4.
Yeah, he's quite easy.
I might have to look into it.
I think he only wants like he's one of those old characters where he wants like one piece of choice gear around like gear 9 or 10, and then it kind of like just easily tips up to 11.
Yeah, I think that's what I remember too, Raid.
Yeah, so he's
It's
not too
either
bad.
that or I'll wait out to get my Negotiator up to 7-star.
Yeah, but obviously you will all need your gas for Lord Vader, so
That's what I'm going from.
yeah, best get it done. Might as well move on from that. I think we spoke about that. The title update, as we've said, hasn't quite appeared. The artwork, are you guys happy with the artwork?
Yeah, especially Dooku.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
pretty
Dooku.
good.
I like Dooku's. The rest of it, I really don't care.
Yeah, we just need them to finish it up and give us a Dooku portrait, a gas portrait.
Yeah.
The little bits they missed. But at the moment, I wouldn't complain. I mean, if they just go and give us Gas's forehead, I'll be like, just change it back, guys. Really?
Dooku went from like PS2 Hagrid, sort of a face-shaped texture plastered onto a sphere, to looking actually like Christopher Lee.
Yeah, I kind of feel that his is a bit like the old Ben one, where the last model was actually pretty reasonable, and then the actual new one is actually pretty reasonable as well, and I wouldn't mind using either.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all right. So what else have we got on our list? The Executor. You guys want to move on to that?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
A
God.
few people have strong opinions.
Yeah.
Time to make Andy quit the game.
Yeah. So this is the first ship that's actually had a gear or, as it is now, relic level requirement on pilots. No other ship has ever had this. We've had ships where you've had to have 7-star ships, but they've never forced you to gear the pilot. Although, in some ways, you have been forced to gear the pilot because you couldn't clear the event without doing so. But this one feels like the first Galactic Legend style ship. And the first thing that kind of stuck out to me when they put up these pictures, they put up the 3 highlights, and the third one was achieve dominance in Fleet Arena. And that just made me a little disappointed. Like, literally, that's your selling point for this ship. Not, look how cool it is. It's literally beat everyone else.
To be fair, they did also go on about how cool it is.
Yeah, I know, but on this picture, this graphic of the ship, which is the sort of big selling point banner, that's literally like, right there in red text.
Yeah.
So, fair enough. I've said I'm going to go for it. I know there's a bunch of guys in our new Super Guild that's probably going to go for it, and I don't think any of you guys are that interested.
Nope.
So,
Nope.
yeah, okay.
Well, I'm interested in the ship. I'm very much not interested in the requirements.
Yeah. What I will say, though, is that a lot of those characters that you have to level up are quite easy to get to Gear 12. IG is really easy. Cad Bane's a little ropey around Gear 10, or he wants like a bunch of stun cuffs, but overall, those characters aren't that hard. So if you do end up going for them, what will probably slow you down is all the finisher pieces more than anything else.
What do you say that? What about Bando? Davvo's working on him now, and he says it's like gearing a Galactic Legend.
Oh, you think so? You only need his ship. You don't need to gear him for the event. So
True.
it might be one of those things where if you can sort of get through it with like gear 8 or 9 with a bit of luck and not have to relic him. I don't know. The event's not out, but you might be able to.
Or possibly what's going to happen is he's going to be a necessary ship to have at a high level.
Oh, he will be, especially if you want to run
For
the
the
bounty hunter
event.
fleet. But we don't really know yet, so it's kind of like one of those. We'll have to wait and see. But then, if he was required at relic level, you'd think they'd have just stuck him in the requirements.
True.
Because
I guess if you got a strong house too, if it could carry it.
Yeah, I don't agree with that sentiment at all. I think the way that they're a-holing the community right now, I think they intentionally left him off, and you're gonna have to do him as well, and some other things to be able to get through it, but they're not going to tell you that.
I would not be surprised. I was quite disappointed that they put Dengar on there as a requirement, bearing in mind he's got no ship. It's like, oh, did you really mean Bando, not Dengar? But all right. Dengar's he's an alright character, but it kind of strange requirements. But anyway, let's have a look at this. Have you guys seen the graphics for this ship?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
So it fills most of the screen, from what I can see.
Nice.
Yep.
So its basic is unorthodox methods, and the text is deal physical damage and inflict expose for 1 turn on target enemy. Deal 5% more damage for each active Empire ally. Deal 25% more damage for each active Bounty Hunter ally. That one's hard to say because you don't know what its base damage is. But obviously, getting 25% more damage for each active Bounty Hunter is like quite significant, and only 5% for each Empire. That I don't know why that wasn't even on both of them. I don't see why it's specifically has to be better for Bounty Hunters.
Didn't they say that it can be used as Empire, but they are pretty much just like with everything else, they're trying to force it to be a Bounty Hunter primary ship, and then
Probably.
I think they made adjustments also on the basics to where the basics, kind of like Dark Trooper, the basic is pretty much one of your more powerful attacks.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll have to see what its actual base damage is to judge that, but it does put out Expose, which is pretty good. Its first special is Breach of Protocols, and this is a cooldown of 4. The final text is deal physical damage to all enemies. If the target enemy is target locked, call all Empire allies to assist, dealing 30% less damage. If the enemy was breached, call all Bounty Hunter allies to assist, dealing 10% more damage. Now, that one's kind of interesting. So you could, if you play it with Empire or Bounty Hunters, and I noticed that obviously they're out the bat they're giving more damage to the Bounty Hunter ships, but and this is what I'll say as the but is that the Empire ships already deal a truck ton of damage, whereas the Bounty Hunter ships are already kind of like not. They don't really do a huge amount.
Yeah, but once you like relegate Bobber and others,
I've got Relic 6 Bosk. His ship deals no damage. I got Cad Bane to Relic 5 recently, and I have noticed a jump in his damage, but I don't play it into anything that's actually substantial. So I'm not really sure if this actually nets out being that they're more or less the same in terms of damage, because I know, like, if you guys seen some of my streams when I'm using like my Gear 12 TIE Fighter, and I'm just like, yeah, just delete that Falcon. At Gear 12, that ship does buckets of damage, so even with this change, it might still do a similar amount.
Yeah, true.
But that's still good. It's calling everyone to assist. Second special, we only need to keep them from escaping. This is cooldown 5. So it's quite big cooldowns on this ship. Final text, Bounty Hunter allies gain potency up for 1 turn. Dispel, outmaneuver, and stealth from all enemies, and dispel all debuffs from Bounty Hunter allies. Target ally recovers 100% health and protection. If the target ally is Bounty Hunter, they gain Foresight for 2 turns and Taunt. So basically, this is save Bosk.
Yeah.
This is please don't kill Bosk.
It's like your Bosk is almost dead. Oh, here you go. He's just been saved.
Now, what will be interesting is how, like, obviously on offense, the player has more control over this, so it'll be great because you'll just put it on Bosk. But on defense, it'll be interesting to see if you sort of like you lay into something like Slave 1, which is a very sort of paper thin ship in terms of its armor, whether the AI just goes, I'll just burn it on Slave 1 straight away.
Yeah,
Can't wait for that to happen.
It'd be
I
interesting to
can't
see.
really see it picking Bosk's ship. If it does, then you're gonna get screwed.
Because they've announced a sort of a rework on Boba Fett. I suppose I should talk about that as well. But it's not actually much of a rework. They've just added a few bits to his ship's kit. And he still taunts. Yeah, it's a touch-up. And he still taunts when he comes in from reserve. So even if Bosk is taunting, you can still blow Boba Fett away straight away. We'll have to see what's going on with that. Its ultimate, something special planned, literally calls in the Death Star and looks really cool. It has a cooldown of 20.
It really does.
Okay, it has a cooldown of 20. That's the thing to remember. That's quite high. Destroy the enemy capital ship and stun all enemies for 1 turn. Allies gain protection up 35% for 2 turns. If there is no enemy capital ship, destroy all active enemy ships instead. This ability can't be evaded, resisted, starts on cooldown, and is reduced by it. Its cooldown is reduced by 1 each time breach is inflicted on an enemy ship. So you need to. Sorry.
The thing with that ultimate is it has an insta win, but the chances of you not winning after using your ultimate the first time are incredibly low.
I don't know. I think it's one of those weird ones, isn't it? Because it'll be interesting to see how fast you can actually get to that ultimate. And I think part of that's going to be to do with the crew ability, which we've not talked about. But 20 cooldown's quite big. I don't ever think you're going to use the destroy all enemy ships instead part of it, because I think you'll have won by that point.
That's exactly what I just said.
But I think that the whole just blowing up their capital ship is an instant win, because you're not losing yours like you do with the Radis.
I feel like we're on the same page here.
Yeah.
I do hear an echo.
Yeah, that is what I just said.
All right. I'll bow to your wisdom. Right, let's read the crew. The crew ability is Vader's Bounty, which is a strange name for a crew ability when it's Piet, who's the actual crew, who's the pilot. So bounty hunter allies have 35% max health, max protection, and offense. Oh, fuck, Bosk's got so much health and protection. And that's the first line. And ignore taunt on crewless or droid ships. Okay.
Yay. How to Beat Malevolence 101.
Negotiator.
No, it's only on crewless ships. So it doesn't apply to like Clone Sergeant or like enemy players using Bosk. It's basically all of the ships they added because everyone could only use Bosk because it was the only good tank. So
no, now Negotiator has a chance.
How?
Okay, so anyway, that's the first bit. The next bit. At the start of the battle, bounty hunter allies gain tenacity up for 2 turns. That specifically there is the kick in the teeth to Negotiator. And Empire allies gain we don't need their scum for the rest of the battle, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. Whenever an enemy reinforces, bounty allies gain evasion up for 1 turn. Whenever an ally applies breach, they dispel all debuffs on themselves. This is getting busy. And I've still got another block to go through. Whenever a bounty hunter ally deals damage with a basic ability, they inflict target lock on the enemy for 1 turn. The first time allies inflict target lock 20 times on enemies. Each active enemy... What? Well, God, they've worded this badly now. Okay, so I'm going to read this entire sentence because it's really badly, like, they've not formatted the text correctly. The first time allies inflict target lock 20 times on enemies, each active enemy, enemies who are called in from reinforcements or summoned are inflicted with breach and target lock. So the really complex bit, first time allies inflict target lock 20 times on enemies. Each active... You see, this is the thing that's weird. It's like, so it's active enemies and enemies who are called in from reinforcements or summoned. So every enemy, they could have just put every enemy, rather than making that complicated, is inflict with breach and target lock, which can't be dispelled, evaded, or resisted, and lasts until the end of the battle.
fun stuff.
Actually,
Which
I forgot
brings
to phrase
down
it like
your-
that.
Which is
Go
going
on,
to bring down the 20 cooldown, isn't it?
No, I haven't.
Yep.
Wait, what brings down the cooldown?
Inflicting
breach.
breach.
Oh yes, so yeah,
Inflicting breach.
but it says that you have to inflict target lock 20 times, and most of the bounty hunters don't do target lock. I think
True.
Boba Fett can do it. He's got a chance to do it on his basic, but none of the others do. Which means you're going to have to put in something else that does it. It's only one shot a turn. He's going to take him a long time to do 20. But I think that's more that you could, because the Empire ships, I think Vader does, TIE Fighter does, TIE Bomber does, I want to say. Because, yeah, that's how it taunts. So, yeah, interestingly, you might have to mix it a little bit. And then the reinforcement bonuses, reinforcements gain breach immunity and chaff for 2 turns. So breach immunity being a new buff, which is obviously they're going anti-Houndstooth as well as pro-Houndstooth on the same ship.
They're basically making mirrors a whole lot harder.
Yeah, and then
because chaff is anti-target lock.
Yes. Or actually, maybe they're making mirrors a lot easier because they're preventing the other mirror ship from being immune to your stuff. Yeah.
No, because if the mirror's going, then nothing's going to be inflicted with target lock or breach. Neither on your side or theirs.
IG 2000, when the enemy's already breached, inflicts target lock for 2 turns.
Oh, okay. That shows how much anybody's ever used that ship.
It's other ability actually stuns and inflicts target lock as well.
Okay, that's good. So he's got target lock. You've got him. So the bit we haven't covered is obviously it says at the start of the battle, bounty hunter allies gain tenacity up for 2 turns, and Empire allies gain we don't need their scum for the rest of the battle. So that's kind of similar to the Radus and the Finalizer giving out a buff specifically to their faction. So the we don't need their scum bonus is Empire are immune to turn meter manipulation, and whenever a bounty hunter ally is defeated, they recover 25% health and protection, except for Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, which instead recovers 10% health and protection.
Assumedly because he's the one who hired the bounty hunters.
Yes.
So he's just a bit disappointed in them.
Or he expected it all along. You failed me for the last time. Again. Yeah, so quite an interesting kit, really. It doesn't jump out to me as being like massively hard as a ship. It's got a lot of stuff going on, but then a lot of the ships have got stuff going on. But you know, like when you look at Negotiator and it's got Mobilize, and Mobilize is like, I do everything, call everyone to assist, daze everybody, give out Valor, and then Valor does all this stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like this ship,
inflict target lock.
Yeah, like this ship doesn't jump out to me as having that sort of bonus. It kind of just sort of says it sticks around a bit.
Yeah, but if they stay thick for long enough that you can't take them out before the special, that's what it's looking like.
Yes, that's its kind of thing. Is like if you can't burn through them fast enough, you're gonna lose.
It's like
with,
Thrawn strategies, Thrawn plus tank strategies taken to a whole another level.
Yeah, I think playing into this fleet, it would definitely be useful to have a ship that cleanses buffs on your opponent, just dispels all their buffs. I think there is a couple of ships that have got stuff. I want to say the Ebon Hawk's got something. Because that would be quite useful to be able to get rid of all of the buffs that like they're getting at the start of the battle. So like if Houndstooth's got tenacity up and it's got this and it's got this and it's got this, and you can just go, right, I'm getting rid of that.
You've got Ebon Hawk and then Cassian on call-in. I don't think it's specific to being in a rebel fleet. He can also
yes.
debuff everyone. Use Cassian with Finalizer to counter Negotiator.
So I kind of feel that like something like that would be quite useful here because you can just sort of strip away a lot of their bonuses. And I know the way that the Razor Crest works is that like every time it takes damage, it burns up stacks of its super hull. which
That's the same as bounty hunters in the
Yeah.
galactic challenges, though.
But if you call
Yeah.
a mass assist against it, you can burn through its hulls quite quickly. Well, actually, I'm going to talk about this now because this is funny, right? So, the Mandalorian show, the Razor Crest gets pretty much wrecked several times.
Spoilers.
It does. Okay, spoilers.
Yeah, but the point
it does,
is,
right?
it survives every time.
Okay, but
Which is what this is alluding to.
In what instance do you think any of that hull's reinforced? Do you know
It's
what I mean?
reinforced by raw plot armor.
By masking tape.
I mean, it gets fucked up by Jawas. It gets fucked up by a couple of X-wings. Do you know what I mean? It's like literally a flying scrap heap for a couple of episodes. It does
But
not
it
have
survives.
reinforced hull. It does
But
not
it
have reinforced hull.
survives.
It didn't
The
survive.
ability, well, it didn't survive eventually, but the ability itself is like perfectly on flavor.
I always thought the
Every
ship was
time
kind
it
of like the
gets hit,
opposite of Mando, because Mando's got the best armor and he is wearing the reinforced hull. The ship has nothing. The ship is made of paper.
Well, but we didn't see exactly what Queel did with his arc welding and 900-year-old skill set was.
He died.
Yeah.
That's what
Not
he did with
before
it.
he
He
repaired
died.
the ship, though.
And then he got wrecked again.
Valid.
So yeah, this looks like a very interesting ship. I think that it won't be quite as good as they think it's going to be when the community starts like swapping ships around. So there was already a sort of fleet where people were putting the TIE bomber in the negotiator, so that when they were playing mirrors, you could dispel all the valor and stuff off your opponents. And I kind of think that stuff like that might be quite useful and still be surprisingly good against it.
And I think that they're making a ship GL, and it's the worst thing that has ever happened to the game mode.
Oh no, I agree. They shouldn't have a ship Galactic Legend, but they haven't called it a ship Galactic Legend, but it clearly is. So anyway, you guys must have seen the Rebels series, right?
Obviously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So in the
Of course.
Rebel at the end of season 3. Or towards season 3 anyway, the Rebels have got the carrier, the Phoenix Nest. It does get a lot of screen time, but I reckon they'll bring that in as the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's already
I
in
think they'll bring in Red 5.
I think they'll bring in Hondo.
I'm hoping they
Because,
bring in Hondo.
they need a bounty hunter capital.
But yeah, I could
This is clearly
quite easily see them doing Phoenix Nest, because then they could be like, you need to relic 6 Phoenix pilots.
I hate that.
Yep, that's why I think they'll do it, because they could do that, and then they could create. I mean, I imagine its ability would be pooping out A wings or something, but they could just literally go, "Here's a pilotless B wing. You need that." You need
literally
Wedge.
fall off if that's the move.
You need Wedge because he's in the Rebels series. It'd be quite
As
easy
is
for
Mon
them.
Mothma.
Yeah, it'd be quite easy for them
a
to
Mon
do.
Mothma capital ship.
It wouldn't be hers though.
I'd-
I could quite see it
I'd
being.
love it.
I could quite see it being an unmanned ship, an unmanned capital, because the captain of it is the captain is Jun Sato. He's the rebel captain who takes over it, and I don't really see
Can you
them.
imagine how OP a one that doesn't require thing would be? That means you wouldn't have to put relicate on it to make it as fast. So it'd either
Yeah.
suck because you can't make it as fast, or it'd
Maybe.
be OP because you wouldn't have to relicate it to make it fast.
I don't know, but they did say that they were looking into the whole pilotless ships thing, because when they created them, they were meant to be the equivalent of a Relic 7 pilot. But now we've gone past Relic 7, people are saying, well, what are you going to do about these ships? And they did say they were looking into
most
that.
people
So
aren't looking to relicate their entire fleet.
Oh, I know. I don't think people
I,
want
of
to.
course, am going to relicate the entire First Order fleet, but I'm not really because I'm not stupid.
It's not that good a fleet anyway.
What did he just say?
The First Order fleet is not that good a fleet that it'd be worth relocating.
Nah, it ain't.
How do you guys feel about the Raddus playing into the Executor and getting off the whole capital ship destruction first?
That'd be
That
funny.
would be, yeah, hilarious.
That'd be...
Because the Radis is designed to go off before any other ultimates, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, well,
otherwise it'd be kind of
the
useless.
Radis ultimate gets a cooldown when an ally with foresight uses a special ability. So I could see a lot of players just sort of spamming specials to get to it as fast as possible.
Yeah.
What's the cooldown on the Radis' ultimate?
I will pull it up in game.
Do you know?
Hold on.
Guessing 10.
Radis' ultimate has cooldown 10.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then
So potentially that's
reduced by 1 each time a resistance ally with foresight uses a special ability, which is quite
Then
easy.
he's still going to use.
Quite easy to do because all of the
You do have to
resistant
use
ships
resistance
have got.
to kill a Houndstooth.
Yeah, but you've got all resistance ships have got 2 specials.
the thing is if you use the Radis against it, the team you've got left, would they be able to take out the ships that are left? Do you reckon?
Well, they would. I would not be surprised because I think without the bonuses of like being able to call everyone to assist or like just healing one of your bounty hunters, the bounty hunter fleet is literally like if you can kill Houndstooth, you win because it doesn't necessarily do a huge amount. So
And if Poe is still alive, he just chews Houndstooth up.
yeah, I'd imagine he could eventually go through it. I don't know. It'd be interesting. I think it's one of those weird cases. It could definitely be useful if you struggle against this capital ship because you don't necessarily have anything, but you've got the Radis and you could put that in as your, like if you're playing Grand Arena, you put it in first, blow up their capital ship, and then be like, right, I can put something that'll actually take the bounty hunters.
Unless someone just uses it with Empire, in which case you've got Bomber, Vader, Fighter Pilot to deal with, stuff like that.
Yeah. But you can at least kill those much easier than you can kill Reinforced Hull and Bosk. Or Steroid Bosk.
Throw Steroid Bosk into the team instead of.
But you know, like, I think this is giving me an excuse to like push Bosk up to Relic 7 eventually.
Like you needed an
Dude,
already done it.
No, he's been Relic 6 forever because I couldn't justify putting another Relic level on him just for fleet.
I've just relicked my first Jowie. You don't need an excuse to relic someone.
You do. I haven't spent any gear on anything other than Kenobi requirements in like 2 months. I'm disappointed because I want to spend it on good stuff. I can't.
Yeah, but let's be fair. Those Rex, whether they're all good or not, the character that you receive at the end is ridiculous, at least right now.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining about that, but I'm
he
just
is undeniably the best legend.
Oh, until Vader comes out, because Vader requires more Relic 8s, therefore he'll probably be even better.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's already spent everything on Kenobi.
Yeah, that really worked out for Viagra Luke, didn't it?
Yeah, poor Jedi Master Luke.
Who's getting the triple nerf back.
He's going to be left out on that mountaintop again.
Serves him right.
He never left.
Well, and that's the thing too about him is they're not saying anything about a rework on him or the squads needed for him. But in the end, if they're
I think they'll wait
brand new,
and see what happens.
Well, they can't really wait because their whole goal is all of their shiny new toys can't be touched by anything else. Well, so Luke gets to stand there with a couple of healers and a couple of tanks, and then get wiped out by all of the other Galactic Legends. I don't think they're going to leave that way. But hey, maybe.
Well, everyone's already paid for him, so they might. I don't know. We'll see what happens with it.
Currently he's the only one that can score well and pretty much. Well, I mean, you got JMK now, but I mean, prior to that, he's can cleanly take out everyone else. Granted, it's an expensive team, but now he goes from being one of the hardest Galactic Legends to get, even still with JMK and Lord Vader. He's still the most difficult, and he's going to be the weakest, hands down. I don't know.
Well,
but maybe.
He's the weakest currently, just in terms of his individual ability. He's just far below the others when you look at the small little things. You know, like every other Galactic Legend can stack mastery. He can't. You know, there's loads of stuff about him that's just not as good. He relies on having these 2 mega crutches to hold him up.
Right. But he can beat everyone, even though it's an expensive team. He can beat everyone, and with good banners, like if you're doing GAC and everything, it's it's timely, but
Yeah.
it is a good battle. But he's the only one. But you're changing all of his squad by making these nerfs that they're doing. So what do you do with him now? Are you releasing? Yeah.
Yeah, it is very difficult because I think ultimately they'll just do like a little touch up to his kit. But really, as a character, he is really bad. I mean, every Galactic Legend other than him is an attacker. And they all work really well. They're all attackers, and they can make themselves immune to damage. They can... You know what I mean? That's like better than being a tank. All he does is stand there and take it in the face.
Right, but when you're involved in an efficiency battle in GAC, he's the one that's going to
but he's
get
not. He's not
the
good
higher
in
end.
He's not good in GAC though, because the problem with him in GAC is he breaks so many squads that you have to invest so much of your roster into this one thing, and even then it can still lose. You know, it's like you have to use Gas, you have to use Jedi Knight Luke, you have to use Revan, you have to use somebody else, like either Hoda or Watt or whatever, to put an arena level team in. That he's only good in squad arena, and even then, I don't think he's that good. Everywhere else, as soon as you need to, I don't know what, budget or use all of your characters and work out where you want to spend those resources, he falls over because he is literally taking such a big piece of the pie. I mean, he's absolutely useless in 3v3. There's no 3v3 team you can build with him that does anything.
I showed you the screenshot of the meta report that said Bastilla, Jedi Master Luke, Watt is the most successful defense team in 3v3, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
insane.
However,
you did see that, right?
Yeah. However, every Master Luke team, no matter what composition it is, can be beaten by 1 or 2 teams. Like quite trivially.
That is what a balanced meta is.
No, like so if you have to put Watt Tambor with him, you beat it with Han Solo. Like every time. You know, you put Han Solo in, you kill Watt, and then you put your real team in. If Master Luke's the lead, you just put Darth Revan in because you just keep sticking fear on all his mates.
Mm-hmm.
Until the end of August.
Yeah, he probably gets easier to beat. So I don't know. I've not had much success with him sticking him on defense. I will try your Bastila thing. I've already deployed my defense for this round. I didn't set him on defense, but next round I will put that team on defense.
Okay. Like I can send you the screenshot again that says he is the best 3v3 defense team in the game.
I am literally writing it down right now. I will put that team on defense and I will tell you what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't get a hold, because I reckon that you do need to use 2 teams to go through him. But yeah, that is probably the best use for him. But we'll see. I kind of feel that Kylo could go through that. I think Kylo could probably go through that in 1, actually.
But at what cost though? That's where it's going to be, where it's holding up. It's going to be ranked higher, not solely based off of whether you can get through it. It's going to be based off of the efficiency capacity to get through it. Is what that's also ranked off of.
I don't know. I'm not like 100% sure what. I mean, you're definitely not going to get full banners just because JML's AoE. But I don't know. I don't think that there aren't teams that can't go through that straight away. It's not that hard. I mean, Sith Eternal Emperor probably still just one-shots that entire team on his own.
No. He really struggles getting out the damage to deal with that protection regen.
Right, do you not? Okay, so I'm going to tell you how to beat it. What you do is you don't use your ultimate, because you stack mastery when you're not in your ultimate form. So you just you target Watt and JML with the siphon thingy-majig, and then you wait until the 1 minute mark, and then you use your ultimate, and then you frag them. that's it. That's how you beat the 5v5 version.
Yeah, the 5v5 version I can beat.
Yeah, but why would it be any different? Because you don't need any other character other than Sith Eternal.
Like there's a port options I've found, but let's try it.
I mean, you could take Watt and put the protection regen on yourself, and then he definitely
Yeah, it's a
can't.
drop.
And then he definitely can't kill you until you kill him with your ultimate. But
You're talking about C going against Pastor Elite JML?
Yeah.
Yeah, all you do is you link Jedi Master with anybody that you want, really. And you just basic auto until about 50 seconds and then go into ultimate. And he just deletes everyone.
Yeah.
I'll have to do that.
Yeah, it's all about stacking the mastery in your regular form.
Yeah, you won't ever get enough damage if you go straight into ultimate when you can. You just have to keep basicing and stacking that mastery so you get the damage output.
And that in itself is probably why it still remains on the top, as most people either don't have the patience or just, get frustrated or
Well, they don't know
worried
that
that
counter.
they're down to the final minute, right? And so, they just they don't do it right and lose.
But you could then beat that three-man team with two characters, because you'd go a Sith Eternal and Watt versus their three, and you would probably lose Watt, but you would come out with full protection on Sith Eternal, so it's not that bad. But yeah, so yeah, if you run into that, that's what you should do. Give it a go. Any other business, guys? We've kind of rambled on for quite a long time.
No, nothing.
Not I can
Think
think of.
like it.
Yeah, well, we'll leave it there anyway. Thanks for listening, guys, and hope to see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.
I wish to try out my plan.
Everyone's just parroting what everybody else is saying today, or what? I don't know what's going on.
It's
No, I wasn't repeating it. I was more
the Echo
commenting
Cast.
on.
It's because of the 2 echoes required for Lord Vader.
Damn, guys, it might be because of the 2 echoes required for Vader.
Oh,
Did
that
someone
makes
say
sense.
Echo? Yes, that's my name.
That was a great line.
I wonder if there's 2 echoes required for Vader.
That'd be weird.
Nah, that wouldn't be right. They couldn't do that.
This rate, there might be 4 echoes required.
What?
You know what I
Echo
think would be a
of an
weird
echo.
idea? If they required 4 echoes.
Yo, do you know what could be funny? If they required 4 echoes.
I hate you guys so much.
It's only going to be complete if someone else says that we've only had 3.
I hate you guys so much.
Fine then.
We love you long time.
$5.
I'm still just on the fact that Raid acted as if I was acting high and mighty or something, because he repeated what I
Oh
said.
no, I wasn't. I wasn't making that you were high and mighty. I was being sarcastic.
It
I
was just
thought
when
that was just your
you
thing.
copied him and you ploughed on.
Yeah.
This is all outtake material. This is all going in.
Yeah. I will bow to your infinite wisdom, says the person who has just said everything I was saying.
This is why we missed you on the last chat, Davvo.
Yeah.
It
It wasn't condescending enough.
I don't think you're British enough if you can't pull off the amount of condescension that I do.
No,
Does that mean
You're
Britain
letting-
is a one-man nation?
pretty much.
Wait, but doesn't the
Just-
Empire Squad do enough damage to just like delete everyone regardless of that 5%?
Yeah,
What?
5% is not much. I just got a high score with my Padme in one run. Sweet.
I didn't do as
Oh
high
my
as usual. I
God.
just accepted it.
I just got my first wave in GOTB with Padme.
Yo.
Phase 2's up.
So fast, it's just disappearing in it. You like the last guild we're in, they're all like crying about it, like, please do your attacks.
Yeah.
They still are. They still are.
Will somebody do their attacks?
Oh
They actually
yeah,
failed the
Uni,
Crankle.
you're still in there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, are they even
failed one of their most
succeeding?
recent Crankles.
Yeah, figured.
They're doing what, Uni?
They failed one of their most recent ones because apparently people were on like away, so like on weekends, so they missed it.
Right.
That was their excuse anyway.
Yeah, I feel
Big
like
RIPs.
I really feel like that guild, it has a lot of good players, but they're just not having the same level of activity as their officers would like.
One of my GAC matchups that I befriended after we matched up had someone join there, and when he saw that I joined, he didn't ask. He just waited, and then when we left, he was like, "Oh, I saw that you're not there. Any particular reason?" And when I told him, just how they were and everything, he was like, "Okay." He was like, "Well, that's exactly why." Someone I know went there and left, and I was like, "Wow, man, you couldn't have said anything."
Oh, really? So it's not just us then.
No, it's not at all.
That's good to know that you don't sort of like leave because you feel like you're in an odd situation and that other people have noticed it as well. Not that we want to sort of like say anything bad about that guild or anything. I think they've got a lot of good players and everything. But
Yeah,
Is it still
they do.
outtake?
yeah, this is still an outtake. I can delete some of this.
Why are you worried, Uni?
No, it's just you're saying about how you're not going to talk bad, and then whilst filming outtake.
Yeah, well, we're not. Like, I don't want to like bash their guild or anything. I think they're a good guild. They just have certain issues, And I think Andy tried to tell them what those were, but they didn't really listen.
This
Did
seems
Andy
like a
even
really
get?
poor, bitchy, like teen girl breakup? Like, it wasn't that there were major issues. It's just that we had some issues and we tried talking about it. Well, one of my friends tried talking about it to them, but that didn't work. That's what this
Why?
screams.
Yeah.
That's kind of it in a nutshell.
Anyway, should we
yeah.
get back to recording?
Have you guys finished your Rancor runs?
Yeah.
I'm still doing mine, but we're doing that whilst we're recording.
All right, I'm just trying not to get eaten too much by the Rancor.
I like how Davvo was just like, I was in the top 10 in Pirates and now I only get to 20. What the fuck?
I said, because I was in the top 25 in the Pirates. I could never get to the top 10 without Shaq. And now that I do have Shaq, it's only enough to get me into the top 25 again.
That's because some of the dudes here just jump on it and they just destroy the fuck out of it.
That's why they're
change
quite.
If I was still in the Pirates at this point, I would be getting the top 10. That's what I'm saying.
I think I would have as well, potentially.
Well, I was getting 7th consistently on all the ones we did.
I'm 9th right now.
Oh, well, I'm 4th somehow.
That's not going to last long, Davvo.
I know.
I know, because on my screen, Davvo's 10th.
4th at all.
Yeah, Andy's just overtook him.
14th.
Refresh. He's just posted his run.
I've changed Dooku's Master Makashi animation.
Oh, really?
Oh no.
No, it's still the same animation, but he brings his lightsaber up like right across his face, so it looks really weird.
He used to do that. He used to always salute with it, didn't he?
No, he like the old thing is he used to put it right in front of his nose, but he's actually like bridging it right across his face now. Like it's almost like his arm goes too far. I think it's probably a graphical bug that they have.
Right. Okay.
See if I can replicate it. And, Galactic Challenge.
All right. Hold on. So I'm just going to make another note of when the timestamp is 49. 10-minute outtake. That's a long outtake. Right.
Most of that shouldn't even be going in the outtakes.
No,
should
it won't.
Get destroyed.
I'll delete all the stuff about the other guild. They don't need to hear that. Okay, so where was we? Slight delay. So we were talking about the second part of Vader's bounty.